Good evening, my name is Chris. Welcome back to my channel, and today I will be giving my film review for The Batman 2022. And as you can tell, I'm wearing Batman-inspired eye makeup. One of my best friends, Samantha, did it for me, so thank you, Sam. I will link her Instagram down below if you guys want to check out more of her work. But enough of that, let's get right into the review. So, The Batman, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson as the Batman, Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler, and Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon, is the latest big screen adaptation of the Caped Crusader. And I'll start by saying this. This film was not only a spectacular Batman film, but it was an amazing film, period. It is a dark, gritty, intense detective film that is grounded in reality. I'll go as far as to say this is the most realistic Batman film ever, even more so than the Christopher Nolan trilogy. The film has us following Robert Pattinson's Batman and his mission to solve a dark and twisted murder case perpetrated by none other than the Riddler himself. On the technical side, this film is one of the most impressive and gorgeous looking movies I have watched in recent memory. The cinematography is fantastic. The production design is top notch. The visual effects are spectacular. You can't even tell they're there. The colors are great and the costumes are amazing. Everything in this film just looks spectacular. We caught glimpses of the masterful cinematography in the trailers, but they do not do this film justice. You must see this film in theaters in order to get the full experience. The score of the film is one of the best Batman scores ever. The new Batman theme is an all-time great. It is so good. The score also sprinkles hints of noir film inspired beats. All of this combines to create a film experience that'll immerse you into the city of Gotham itself. And you know what? Fuck it. I was going to save the Robert Pattinson segment for last, but I need to talk about his performance in this film right now. So, to all the Robert Pattinson haters, I never, ever want to hear you call Robert Pattinson Twilight Boy ever again. Robert absolutely crushed it as the Batman. He delivered one of the strongest Batman performances ever, and that's saying something. He gave us a broken and flawed Batman whose choices had serious consequences on his Bruce Wayne persona. One of my favorite things about this film is how the Batman persona is Bruce Wayne fully expressing himself without having the burden of carrying the Wayne name. One of Robert's best abilities is to convey emotion through his eyes. His eyes can literally express any range of emotion. It's ridiculous. And his eye performance was accentuated by the black eye makeup and black mask. His eyes just ended up popping and it was amazing. You felt the pain and anguish and remorse and stress just looking into his eyes. It was ridiculous. His mannerisms and the way he spoke just fit into the film's premise. I mean, the first time you see the Batman, it gives you goosebumps. The first time you see the Batman right inside the boatmobile is like the coolest shit ever. Robert absolutely carried this film and showed us why Batman is the world's greatest detective. Oops, I dropped something. Hold on, I'm gonna go off frame for a second. Robert Pattinson is my favorite Batman ever. Come fight me. I don't care. He was fantastic. Better than Bale, better than Affleck, better than Keaton, better than everyone. Stop being clinged on to the Dark Knight trilogy. Guess what? He's better than Christian Bale. Okay, so I'm back. The rest of the main cast was amazing as well. Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, with her witty and flirty dialogue, especially between her and Batman, it was great. The chemistry her and Robert had is unmatched. Paul Dano as the Riddler was terrifying. He's a psychopath that looks like a normal person, and that's like the creepiest shit ever. I mean, the way he spoke and played mind games with everyone was just scary. Paul Dano made you fear the Riddler. Now, I do want to talk about the 3-hour runtime. You do feel all 3 hours. It's a slow burn noir detective film. It's to be expected. I personally didn't mind it, but I know other people may have an issue with it. For me, the good outweigh the bad by a mile. This was my most anticipated film of the year, and my expectations were sky high after hearing Matt Reeves, the director of the Planet of the Apes trilogy, and Robert Pattinson, one of the best actors on the planet right now, were signed on to make a Batman film. My expectations were high, and this film ended up exceeding exceeding all my expectations. I genuinely still cannot believe Warner Bros. Greenlit this film. It's very dark. I mean, I've been seeing reviews where people literally give it a negative review because they said the film is too dark. That's saying something. It becomes pretty hardcore at moments too, but I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they were able to take that step forward and give us a Batman film that truly feels like Batman. Batman is a very dark character. The whole premise of Arkham Asylum and Gotham, all of that is gritty. And to finally get something like that on the big screen was so exciting to see. Another thing I loved about this film was the way they were able to make Gotham feel grimy and disgusting and crime infested. I walked out of the theater and immediately wanted to take a shower. That's what you should be striving for in the Batman film, in my opinion. Also, shout out to Colin Farrell. He was a great Penguin. He wasn't in it all that much, but they did set up his character for bigger things down the road. I'm excited to see what he does with the character in the next couple of films. As a matter of fact, I can't wait to see all these actors and directors and producers and creative team return. It was just recently reported that Robert Pattinson is signed on for a multi-film deal, so I am so excited to see where they take his character. Once you watch this film and you see where the Batman's character leaves off, you'll be wanting more. His entire character development throughout this film was sort of like a coming-of-age story. He goes from being a symbol of vengeance to wanting to become a symbol of hope, and that's just the perfect arc for Batman. And also, the action was so good in this film. I mean, the violence and the punches Batman gives out to the bad guys is bone-crushing and brutal. We haven't seen this type of Batman action since Batman vs. Superman, when Batman was like punching people through walls at the warehouse. The action in this film tops it by like a million times. It's ridiculous. But yes, overall, The Batman is the best film of 2022 so far, and it's going to be a while until a film takes that spot. It is one of the best Batman films ever made. It is honestly, come at me, I don't care. This is probably my favorite Batman film ever. I mean, I'm a huge drama and crime thriller and just thriller fan, period. And this was a crime thriller Batman film. A crime thriller Batman film. I never thought this was ever going to be made. And guess what? It ended up happening. So yeah, it's safe to say this is probably my favorite Batman film ever. And that's saying a lot because I really did enjoy and love the Christopher Nolan films. All of them. Like, people didn't like The Dark Knight Rises all that much. I loved it, but whatever. I know I'm in the minority when it comes to that, but overall, I highly recommend The Batman. You're going to see one of Robert Pattinson's best performance of his career. You're going to see probably the best Catwoman put on the big screen. You're going to see the best Riddler, that's for sure. You are going to see the best Riddler on the big screen, and it's not even close. Now, it may not be fun like an MCU film, but it was never supposed to be that, and it doesn't have to, because it is a fantastic crime thriller with fantastic visuals, fantastic performances, a fantastic score, and world building that will keep you invested with this franchise for years to come. If I were grading Batman from an A to F scale, I would give it an A-. If I was grading it on a 1 through 10 scale, I would give it a 9. So those are my scores for the film. But ultimately, all the praise I was giving the film this entire video was the score. I just been rambling on and on and on. I love this film. Go out and watch it. I feel like a lot of people are going to go watch this, and trust me, try to look past that 3-hour runtime and you are going to have the time of your life. But other than that, I believe that'll wrap up my movie review. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share to all your friends and family. The BAFTA Awards and the Critics' Choice Awards are coming up, so keep an eye out for my winner prediction videos and reaction videos to these award shows in the next coming weeks. Actually, in like the next week, because Critics' Choice and BAFTAs are 1 week from this Sunday, so it's coming in hot. And that's the end of this video. Stay safe, have a great evening, and is Robert Pattinson your favorite Batman?